All right.
Maybe
Welcome.
the last episode.
Oh boy.
Who's ready for crying?
I'm ready. I'm not actually, but
It's gonna hurt.
this is gonna hurt, dude.
It's gonna hurt. Let's do this.
All right, let's go. We race through the darkened city and finally arrive at the school. Senpai ran the whole way. Senpai ran the whole way here, leaping from rooftop to rooftop, just as Arcueid had. But somehow she isn't even short of breath, despite also having to carry me the entire time. It's only now beginning to dawn on me that she may actually be just as outrageous a person as Arcueid herself.
Tono-kun, can you walk?
I'll walk even if I can't. I have to, if we're going to kill Roa.
I guess you're right. Then please stand on your own 2 feet from here on.
Senpai sits me down on the ground. The school building is eerily quiet. The only thing that awaits us once we enter is a fight to the death. I draw a deep breath and take off my glasses. Oh God.
They're a fancy blue color
They're
now.
fancy blue. That's not great, actually.
Are they a piece of the blue glass moon?
Hey, yo.
Ayo?
I'm struck by a splitting headache. This intense discomfort, coupled with the fact that I can't even move my body properly, is almost enough to make me want to scream.
This is bad. He may only have just awakened, but if he's being
Bolstered?
bolstered? Yeah. If he's being bolstered by the current phase of the moon.
Oh,
The blue moon?
the blue glass moon?
The blue type moon?
Hey, yo.
Damn.
Senpai gazes up at the night sky with a serious look on her face.
I feel like it's been a full moon the entire time
Oh yeah, for sure.
that all this has been going on.
It's been. It feels like it definitely feels like it's been a full moon for a long time. Even ever since like Roa, or not Roa. Ever since like Vlov.
Yeah, no, it's just been a full moon. I guess they could make the jest that it's finally a proper full moon rather than like slowly getting there.
Like maybe it's like a what's it called, a waxing gibbous right now.
Yeah, because it's wax on,
Wane off.
Yeah.
Yeah. The lambent light of the moon spills down, illuminating the darkened school. What's so bad exactly?
I'm talking about Roa's condition. The extent of a true ancestor's power waxes and wanes in accordance with the phases of the moon. The fuller the moon gets, the stronger they become. The same is true even for dead apostles like him.
That feels like an important bit of information we should have had. But all right.
You know, apparently it just wasn't important enough for us to know.
I guess so. That's fair.
Tonight, he borders on being almost unkillable. It's possible that I might not be able to kill him with the equipment I have on hand. We're going to die.
So he's practically unkillable. Still, that means nothing to me. So long as there exists a way for him to die, then it doesn't matter how difficult he might be to kill. I can kill him all the same. I just need him to get close. It doesn't matter if he pierces my chest the instant after he does. If he gets close, I'll skewer his death in less time than it takes to draw a single breath.
But still, it really is bright out tonight. We'll have a hard time sneaking in under the cover of darkness. Sorry, I was reading what Frank wrote.
Oh.
Frank is currently saying, If Shiki isn't biologically related to the Tono family, then what's up with the Mystic Eyes? Did he come from a different magic family? But if so, why does Shiki, in all caps, also have similar Mystic Eyes? Shiki really saying he's gonna skewer a man to death
Yeah.
in the death. Also, yes, he probably came from.
Yeah, he probably came from a different weird family.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, that's.
There are a lot of weird families.
There are a lot
As-
of weird
as-
families.
Some use worm pits, for example.
Well, as they say, no one wrote a story about the day that nothing happened.
Fair enough.
So
Yeah, Shiroemi is literally a nobody, but still somehow has enough magical circuits to
summon the King of Kings.
summon the King of Kings, or the King of Knights rather. But
Splitting hairs.
yeah, King of Kings is Ozymandias.
It's close enough. It's fine. I normally love nights when the moon is shining bright like this, but I suppose today is something of an exception.
Senpai breathes out a sigh. The night is blue, frozen in place beneath the brilliant light of the moon. Beautiful as it may appear, it puts the death of existence on full display. Is that so? Personally, I hate the bright, moonlit nights.
Tono-kun?
My brain creaks.
So, I want it to be known, because I don't know if it'll pick up on my mic, but I don't know what they're watching in the one room over, but it is loud. And I know it's not picking up on Discord because my little ring isn't lighting up, but I can hear it. So just in case it comes on the thing, let it be known it's not my fault.
Gotcha. Right. Because, unlike the sun, the soft light of the moon reveals things I'd rather not see. Sunlight strong enough to overpower the lines, or even complete darkness would be more comfortable. Ugh. It isn't the pain that's causing my brain to grate like this, but the knowledge of what's coming next. The world looks even more messed up than usual tonight. Everything seems like it's on the verge of death. It's as though I've been transported to the barren surface of the moon. Although, with things the way they are, the chance of me being unable to see Roa's death are vanishingly slim.
Tono-kun, this is where we part ways. From here on, you're on your own. I'll be taking a different approach.
A different approach. Senpai, are you planning on doing something?
Murder. Come on now. You do understand that I'm also here to deal with Roa, right? It's just that this incarnation seems to be more powerful than usual, so I'm not about to rush in and face him head on. And like some dumbass. Once he's finished killing you and Arcueid, I'll use that opportunity to rain judgment down upon him.
Rather blunt about that, aren't you? Okay.
Can't beat around the bush in moments like this.
I suppose so, yeah. Senpai remains completely deadpan as she informs me of her battle plan. Yeah. I'm glad I can count on her to not try and gloss over the hard truths. I understand. I know it's selfish of me, but I'll be relying on you to clean up if it comes down to that.
Right. This is as far as I'll go. This is as far as I'll allow personal matters to interfere with my work. You're fighting for her sake, aren't you? In the same way, I'm also fighting for my own reasons. That's why I cannot help the two of you or any more than I already have. English.
I understand. Thank you, Senpai. I'll go ahead and say this now, since this might be the last time we ever see each other. I really liked you. Hanging out and shooting the breeze with you and Arihiko was really fun.
Even though we did it, like, only twice.
Even though we did it, you know, only twice.
Yeah. It was like a dream for me, too. I don't have friends. I only make enemies, and then I kill them.
Senpai flits away toward the school building, vanishing like a bird melting into the darkness.
Yeah, it's the stool. Mm-hmm.
The shul.
The shoe.
Right. All right. Here goes nothing. I ready myself as well. I slip past the front gate. I can barely even walk properly. School building feels impossibly distant. With every step I take, a fresh wave of nausea washes over me. But I still push through and force my body to jog toward the school.
Every step I take, every move I make, Roa is watching me.
Oh my god. Okay, sorry for having to dip for a bit, but
Oh.
bit so early, but I gotta leave for a little bit.
No! I have to pause?
Yes, please.
Okay, should I pause everything? Like, recording and everything?
Sure.
Okay, I'll pause. Unpause. There we go.
We're back. All right.
I'm ready.
Right. I think I already read this, so yes.
Yes, because I made the joke of every step that you take.
Leaving Tonoshiki behind, the executor infiltrates the darkened school building. This is no headlong assault. It's a clandestine operation. She's already well accustomed to raiding enemy territory. To Ceil, the executor. Executor? God, we've been pronouncing it like flip flop for this entire time. Like the
I say
Pokemon.
executor. Yeah.
Sure.
We can call her a Pokemon. She's the executor.
To Ciel the executor, slaying vampires is a matter of professionalism, not of
Probably
pride.
executor.
It probably is executor, to be honest, since they are fair.
But executor is so much funner. And
Fun.
funner is a word.
The thought of barreling in through the front door would be insane to her, as would the idea of challenging him to a fair fight. She propels herself along like a creeping shadow. Her advance is silent, of course, but that's not all. Her scent, her body heat, her heartbeat, every vital process that could give her away has been sealed off from the world. She even goes as far as to completely empty her mind. There exist some vampires who are able to detect the ripples of cause and effect brought about by an intruder's thoughts. It's not clear whether Michael Roa Velmachong, God, every single time, has reached that level as of tonight. But a true ancestor like Arcueid can almost certainly exert that amount of dominion over the area. If Arcueid realizes that Ceil has infiltrated the school, then that information will also become known to our opponent, Roa. If that happens, then a surprise attack is off the table. In order to avoid that scenario, Ceil turns herself into a machine. An automaton that only follows the orders she's laid out in advance, unthinking, unswerving. Ceil mechanically advances on the blind spot that will spell Roa's inevitable death. Through detection magecraft, she can sense what's going on around her. Roa lies in wait in the gym, surrounded by the vast number of magecraft formulas he's inscribed. Arcueid is moving toward the gym through the connecting hallway. Sparks crackle across the concrete face of the building. Ode, the magical energy that Roa has been gathering up until now, is jockeying for supremacy with Arcueid's own magical energy. If Ceil hadn't sealed off her thoughts, it would have reminded her of a powder keg. The concentration of magical energy is almost electric, and even the slightest movement could set off a high reaction that would blow the intruder sky high.
Will Tonoshiki make
Even
his
a
way
thought
through
like
there?
that won't present itself now. She's nothing more than a killing machine, making her way from the courtyard to the rooftop. Not even the appearance of Roa himself would be enough to shock her out of a trance. In addition... What the hell is that?
Oh, huh? That's a biblically accurate
why is
animal,
it...
if I've ever seen one.
No.
It also
That's a
kind of looks like a plant.
tarantula? Question mark? Oh wait, is this one of the...
It's one of the
Right.
thingies that like we exploded
The thing
earlier.
that...
I say earlier,
Yes.
you know, like 4 days ago.
Over there. Over there is something that makes her doubt her own eyes. A ghoulish herald of death. An abnormal creature clings to the wall. Even for Ceil, who has dispatched countless dead apostles and other monsters, this grotesque beast is something that she has never even heard of, let alone seen. Oh my god. Its outer skin is as hard as bark, yet still as supple as leather. Its abdomen is distended and misshapen. Its 6 legs protrude from that abdomen. Claws and tusks like those of a colossal dinosaur jut from the lump on its right shoulder. Its lower body resembles a spider. Its upper body resembles a human. That said, the 8 eyes give off a distinctly spider-like impression. But what's most bizarre of all? Is the murky and jumbled consciousness being given off by that aberration, which she can't pin down as either hostility or outright bloodlust. Faced by it, she senses a murderous impulse strong enough to make one curl up and accept death. Faced by it, she senses hostility so extreme that goosebumps break out all over her body. But she has never run across a consciousness like this before. She has no way to analyze it. This thing probably isn't even written in the church's documents. No ordinary human can fathom the origin of such a consciousness. It reminds her of an oil painting from a certain renowned artist. A single-minded depiction of a city enveloped by the blue gloom of night, daubed over with the moon and the stars. It's as if she's been transported to an entirely different dimension. Without realizing it, Ceil begins breathing again. All thoughts relating to Roa, Shiki, and Arcueid vanish from her mind. The only thing that fills it now is a primordial fear. A very human fear, the sort a girl would naturally have before she learned of the existence of monsters, before she became an executor. Namely, an unbearable revulsion for creepy things. Well, that was sudden. The school building shudders and shakes. The steel frame groans under the stress caused by the magical energy that had filled the air, detonating in a chain reaction. This isn't the work of that creature. It's the start of the fight between Arcueid and Roa. She was only a few seconds too slow, but it cost her dearly. Realizing that she's lost her chance to assassinate Roa, she immediately switches gears, focusing on her new target. That's real great.
Techno noises.
It reminds me of the it reminds me of the weird blocky lines that are reminiscent of Heracles' growls in Fate Stay Night novel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I can see that.
Except somehow worse.
So just imagine the hissing and layered.
I don't like that
things.
sound. It's real annoying. Oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
It lunges.
Oh.
It isn't clear whether the creature is a bug or a beast, but its 3-meter-long body comes skittering across the surface of the building, all the same.
It's 9 feet long.
Don't like it. This is the worst thing we've ever seen in this game.
I would say, okay, to be fair, this does look bad, but I think bulging belly thing that we fought earlier kind
Fair.
of was worse. Just cause its bulging belly suddenly
true,
turned
true.
into arms.
Okay.
I didn't like that. This is
Yes.
still some body horror though.
The shaking of the building doesn't even seem to phase it at all. Now, only 8 meters away, the unknown monster aims its collection of disgusting arms at Ceil. Oh my god.
Oh.
The arms lash out like whips. Recognizing the stench they give off as that of a dead apostle, Ceil manages to regain her composure.
So this is a new species of ghoul.
Roa must have stationed it here to stand guard against her. Makes complete sense when you think about it. Still standing on the ground, Ceil takes stock of the enormous ghoul clinging to the wall. Although its entire body bristles with lethal weapons, there are only 2 that deserve special attention. The tusks sprouting from the lump on its shoulder, and its enormous left arm. The tusks on its shoulder aren't intended for close combat. Instead, they're almost certainly, as she expected, they're missiles designed to shoot prey from a distance. If a projectile that massive scores a direct hit on her at that speed, her body will be smashed to smithereens. Even as she darts upwards and away, the arms continue their single-minded pursuit. Entirely unperturbed by the hail of blows raining down upon her, the executor leaps away to the rooftop in the span of a single breath. The enormous ghoul comes scurrying for the rooftop in pursuit, its 6 legs sending it gliding across the ground just as smoothly as it had scaled the face of the building.
It's surprisingly fast for its size, but...
As she studies its movements, she begins to piece together her plan of attack. That enormous ghoul is like a mobile gun emplacement. Its elastic right arm, along with the tusks that protrude from its shoulder, the next volley of which is already beginning to grow back, must be its forward-firing weapons. A body tailored to excel at long-range warfare. Oh, it's sinewy and veiny. I hate it. Is that hair or are those spikes? I can't tell. I
would venture to say that those are spikes.
hate it. I despise it so much. Why? Why would you make something like this? Why would you make something like this, Roa? What is the purpose?
To be Roa?
Just cuz.
Fair enough, I guess. However, that doesn't necessarily mean it's weak when it comes to close combat. If Ceil were to rush in to attack head-on, that gigantic left arm would steamroll any defense she might be able to muster.
Somehow, it pushed me out of the thing, but I could still hear the music. I don't know. This is a wonky day for technology.
I love that.
But then again,
That'll only happen if you can hit her. The enormous left arm goes against the entire concept of that ghoul. It throws the whole body off balance, and actually ends up hindering its own movement. If that left arm had been identical to its right, it would have been made for a much sturdier mobile fortress. Oops. It's fine. It's fine. Frick.
I believe in you. It's all good.
I got it. It's all fine. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all fine. I'm not a dumbass. It may have been able to corner Ceil with its long-range offensive. Its arms whip out at her once more. Dodging each of them by a hair's breadth, the executor continues to surge forward. The fear that had gripped her mere moments ago has vanished completely. She might still be in the dark about the true nature or origin of this enemy, but she's at least managed to get her handle on its fighting capabilities. Even though it's an entirely novel threat, there's nothing to suggest it's capable of taking her down. There's no risk that she'll lose to that ghoul. She has complete confidence that the armaments she has on her are more than sufficient to exterminate it. If there's a problem, it would be
Time.
the enemy is wholly unknown. Its abilities rival those of a greater dead apostle. Taking all that into account, it seems unlikely that it'll die after only 1 or 2 judgments. Just how long will it take to kill it so utterly that it can no longer regenerate?
10 minutes. I can't afford to take any longer.
The Executor's Magecraft scorches the ghoul's body. Despite taking a lightning strike that would have obliterated the body of even the largest of animals head on, the ghoul leaps backwards and continues to engage in battle with the Executor. The Executor grits her teeth as it becomes clear that the ghoul is tougher than it looks. Her attack has only gone a small way toward fully killing this enemy. As of now, she has no way of knowing just how her actions will affect the outcome of what happens here tonight.
And then Ceil dies.
Oh no!
I don't know.
Oh, good lord. What the hell happened here? The inside of... I guess. So true, 7. The inside of the school is pockmarked. Pockmarked? The inside of the school is pockmarked and cratered. It's like a small typhoon swept through the halls.
I honestly thought for a second you were gonna say poggers.
The inside of the school is poggers and cratered. It's like a small typhoon swept through the halls, starting at the bottom and working its way up. Ceil may have sped through the city at breakneck pace, but it still wasn't enough to catch up with Arcueid. Her battle with Roa has already begun. They're upstairs! I run down the hallway. The erratic sounds of destruction echo in the distance, and I can smell burning in the air. My consciousness attempts to retreat with every step I take. I clench my fists as I fight to keep a hold of myself. My fingernails dig into the palms of my hands, and I use that pain to spur my body onward. I'll happily destroy my left hand with my own nails if it means I can keep my body moving. I only need one working hand to carry my knife. I reach the end of the hallway and rush up the stairs. The sounds are getting louder. They're probably coming from the 3rd floor. I've almost caught up. If I make it in time, we may still have a chance. Arcueid knows about my eyes, and she's calm and rational thinker on the battlefield. Once she knows I'm here, she'll let me make full use of my abilities. She'll defend, and I'll attack, same way we played it against Vlav. So long as she's able to pin Roa down, I'll take care of the rest. No matter what happens, no matter the risks, I'll break through. That's why I can't stop here. I reach the 3rd floor. The trail of destruction carved across the walls continues down the corridor, all the way down to the walkway that connects the 2 school buildings together. Shit! Forcing my faltering legs to move, I sprint down the corridor. I reach the end of the corridor, where it angles off to join the walkway. What I find there is a battle in its final moments. Within that walkway, 2 figures confronting each other at a cautious distance. On the far side of the walkway stands Roa, loitering with an air of relaxed assurance. In the center of the walkway is Arcueid, slumped to her knees, her breathing heavy and erratic. But who is this person? This isn't the Arcueid I know at all. Far from it. Thick black lines snake across her entire body. She seems utterly drained, and her body is on the verge of collapse. It's like she has 1 foot in the grave. She is now only a shadow of the beautiful flower I saw in the penthouse hotel room that night. Arcueid! I rush in. I don't give a shit about Roa anymore. I don't care what kind of traps might await me in this walkway. I just sprint toward Arcueid as fast as I'm physically able. But before I get very far, she locks eyes with me. Still on her knees, Arcueid turns back and fixes me with her glare. My body won't move. The instant I met her gaze, my entire body was frozen solid, as though it'd been turned to stone. What a cold woman. To think you'd turn your mystic eyes at a companion running so desperately to your aid. You could have at least given him the honor of dying loyally by your side. An amused voice reverberates down the walkway. His grin isn't directed at me, but at the kneeling figure of Arcueid. Mystic eyes. But why? Why is Arcueid using something like that against me? Even though I finally made it here. Let go. Let me go, Arcueid! Arcueid averts her gaze from me and turns to face Roa. She says nothing. She doesn't explain herself to me at all. All she does is stare at the enemy standing before her, a look of pain on her face. Why? Why? I lose the ability to even speak. This isn't one of the effects of Arcueid's mystic eyes. Oh, dang it.
You good?
Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, okay, I thought I disconnected for a minute. Okay. Okay, alright, everything's fine. Sorry, my phone isn't connected to the internet, so like, I thought
You thought you disconnected?
I thought-
You're good. I promise. Oh, wait.
okay,
Never mind.
oops.
Oh, wait. No, you're good. Okay.
Oh, God.
Ah, yes, the game of back and forth that we play.
I love this.
Oh,
It's
oh,
but like,
oh, boy.
anyways. I made it all the way here, and yet I'm frustrated with myself for being so powerless, and my body, which has protested at every step of my journey here, begins to grow cold. Good, so you've finally made up your mind, princess. I have to say you've made the right call, especially considering that your back's against the wall. After all, if you don't kill me now, there will be 2 pitiful corpses by the time this is all over. If you don't want that, then show me that last bit of pride of yours. Roa takes one step toward Arcueid, then another. Each time he advances, a part of his body contorts and is wrenched off. His shoulder, his stomach, his limbs. But the effects only last a moment. His body immediately restores itself, and he shows no signs of slowing down. But this really is something, boy. It seems like the princess has decided to cross swords with me to save your life. However, you would have been terrifying if you had been the princess you were before. But now, you're nothing more than an ordinary vampire. You cannot possibly truly make use of your power as a true ancestor. How sad. So sad that it breaks my heart. But also, how unbecoming. It would have been far better for you to simply give in to your desires if the alternative was to sink to such a wretched state.
Shut up!
Arcueid's voice rings out across the walkway. I keep thinking it's a hallway.
Well, because they keep saying walkway, but it basically is a hallway. They could use hallway.
Anyways, the ability to temporarily rewrite physical phenomena, the power to manipulate natural phenomena as you see fit, to exercise control over enthalpy. Such are the natural rights of true ancestors as the planet's sense of touch itself. Truly, the authority of creation. No matter how much humans strive to master magecraft, they will never manage to measure up to the true ancestors. However, At the same time, you cannot interfere with us humans directly. That's because the apes we humans once were have evolved to become possessed of prosperity, knowledge, independence, and wisdom. We are no longer in the same category as this planet. The best you seem to be able to muster now is to slice at me with that vacuum of yours. But that's no longer enough to stop me. And besides, I've already surpassed you. You see, there's something that I have that you don't. Arcueid has stopped breathing altogether. The air she's giving off feels incredibly dangerous. It's as though she's abandoned her own self to better focus on gathering her strength. You understand, don't you? That's right. It's the experience of death. While I understand that feeling, you do not. That is the crucial difference that separates the two of us. It is impossible for a living creature to have experienced death. That knowledge is reserved exclusively for me, the Reincarnator. Don't do it. Space around Arcueid begins to warp and distort more and more violently. I have to stop her. I have to stop her right now, even if it means grabbing her, spinning her around, and slapping her across the face. Because if I don't, then everything. All creatures harbor an instinctive fear of the unknown. Not even otherworldly beings such as the true ancestors are free of it. And yet, no matter how much you study the arcane, no matter how long your lifespan may be, you will never be able to experience that return to nothingness. True death. By rejecting death, you have obtained incredible power. But at the same time, you have hamstrung yourselves. While you have avoided death, I have accepted it. That is what sets Michael Rohr Valmanjong apart from Arcueid Brunstud. Even now, I live in the age of man as a human. A specter of a bygone era such as yourself has no right to punish me. I hear a cracking sound. The windows lining the walkway are overlain by images of something else entirely. Stop! It's... Can Roa not see this? This billowing wave of energy so potent that death itself cannot trespass upon it. But, if you still wish to challenge me, I won't stop you. You can experience firsthand the retribution for these past 1,000 years. After that? Yes. I suppose I'd better fulfill this body's purpose slowly, so as to savor every minute of it. The corners of his mouth twist upwards, his smile a sharp sliver of a crescent moon. Roa has finally turned to rest his gaze on me. He said that he would savor killing me, that he'd follow through on the vendetta carried by his body, by Shiki.
How dull. Are you finally done blathering, Seraph?
Huh? Oh shit.
I realize now why I fucked up.
Arcueid's surroundings
no.
transform. It's as though her desires have altered the blueprint carved into the memory of the planet itself, rearranging its constituent atoms, its atmosphere. Yo, reality marvel?
Right? That's what I was thinking too.
Like, for sure, this is a reality marble, right?
Well,
It- Hey, what if it isn't, and like someone's in the comments already like, "Hey, you're dumbasses."
Oh, speaking of comments. Okay, so do you remember the one that was left on one of the videos, and it was like, at this time, and we were talking about evil Shiki?
Yeah.
Evil Shiki?
Evil Shiki has come to pass.
Evil Shiki be like, I hate people.
No, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Evil Shiki is real.
Evil Shiki's real. God.
I hate life. I don't treasure the fragility of its fragility at all. God.
It's fine.
That's real. That's real. That just is Roa.
You're right. I have deteriorated. But that's okay.
She declares silently. She takes a steadying breath, as though confirming once again in her heart that she doesn't regret it one bit.
Be gone. I will not let you kill my Shiki.
The world is turned upside down, replaced by an unfamiliar landscape. Even from my position outside the universe she's created, I can feel an invisible pressure bearing down on me. I can't even begin to imagine the fear that Roa must feel, trapped as he is within that space.
It's a cube.
Hey, yo, is that a Rubik's Cube?
A cube. It's gone. There are no Magecraft foundations here. Or ether? Hold on. Magecraft can't be enacted under these conditions. It's not just that the magical energy here is depleted. The very order itself is incomplete. It's almost as if... Arcueid solemnly raises her hand. My voice won't come out. This is bad. This is really bad. At this rate, she'll kill Roa. But if she does, she'll also die. These last vestiges of her, barely clinging on as it is, will be lost without a trace. Even tormented by this knowledge, I still can't manage to call out to her. I see. So this is what forms the Celestial, my pantheon, the original one that brought me to corruption. Oh, blessings upon thee, blessings upon thee, blessings upon thee! I had it right. My theory was correct all along. The Roa Cube.
The Roa Cube.
Roa Cube. Yeah.
Oh my god. It looks so goofy.
It does.
Best shit I've ever seen.
Bro,
My favorite gaming system, the Roa
the Roa Cube. Roa Cube. Yo, we gonna play Castlevania.
Is Castlevania.
Gonna play water symbol on the Roa cube.
Water symbol on the Roa Cube. Alright. Even under the crushing weight of despair, the vampire howls ecstatically. With a look of pure contempt,
Oh.
she eradicates the man as though swatting an insect.
Well, that was quick.
Wow.
Damn.
Not gonna
Just
lie, I
like
was
that.
expecting a final battle.
Same.
Roa just got turned into a fucking paste.
Blood.
Paste.
He literally got swatted like a fly.
Yeah.
I
he
mean,
crushed like one too.
Are those shadows or is that his blood?
It should be blood.
I'm gonna go for the
I think
blood.
it's just the remnants.
Huh.
I think that's his foot right there. It's like his toe.
I don't know.
Hey, look, it's one of his teeth.
Oh, look, I found a tooth.
When I open my eyes, Roa's body is nowhere to be seen. It was disfigured, torn to shreds, and then flattened. The walkway is back to how it looked before. It seems that the vision I saw was only temporary. The walkway itself hasn't changed. The only difference is that now, all that's left of Roa are his ankles. Wait,
What?
where?
Oh, we
God
can't see the ankles.
damn.
Give
Wait,
me your
that's it.
ankles.
Wait, hang on, where is it?
It's not.
Where?
It's on the image. I think that's just Shiki.
I think that's just the
Shiki,
Shiki.
tell me where they are.
Shiki, what do you see that we don't?
Shiki took the ankles.
He put them in like oh my god, he put them in like clear resin. He's like, can I keep these? I'm keeping these.
Hey, I'm sure you can do something with dead apostle flesh.
Yeah,
What?
put it
I
in
don't
resin.
know. What?
Put it in clear resin.
Hey, fair
Make
enough.
a weapon out of his bones.
A la Monster Hunter.
You know what? That's not
Good
what I
enough.
was referencing, but sure.
Fair enough, I guess. However, the battle is not so easily won. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh god. Okay,
Now
well.
we have to fight his soul. Oh my goodness.
Yo. Roa
Oh,
final
God, got a
form.
second- He got a second health
He
bar.
has a second health bar.
You're fighting the final boss and they get a second health bar.
You truly are the lord of the mystical, the firmament that seals off the cosmos itself. Something as yet beyond human comprehension.
Does anyone have the Count of Monte Cristo on speed dial?
I mean,
Mate,
I'm sure a servant would.
Arihiko might be.
Oh.
Arihiko might be Shiva's cousin.
The ankles move. No.
The ankles will.
The ankles move. With a splashing sound, they begin to walk on their own across the sea of blood.
Oh. Well, we
His
knew that
legs
they
are
could
moving on their
regenerate
own.
from very few things, because Arcueid did that.
Right. He just,
Yeah,
like,
but it
turns
took
back
her
the
a
clock.
while.
What is... As they move... What the hell is this?
Yep, yeah, no, he's turning the clock back.
Nerves? What? He really do be reshaping himself, huh? I'm glad that he gets his clothes back.
No,
Just
we have
standing
to...
there, realizing,
That you were just like me.
trying to make
Trying to make
history.
history.
With each step they take, they begin to regain their shape. The ankles sprout thighs, the thighs knit together to form hips, and from there, a torso, and 2 arms.
Every step they take, every move they make, he'll be watching them.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, true apostle, true ancestor.
No.
Yet the advancements made by magecraft can overcome such divine deeds. Advancements such as this one. Automatic incantation, triggered just as the user is about to perish, is something that's been perfected in recent years.
So that's his mage circle.
My voice doesn't seem to reach her. Still on her knees, Arcueid no longer even bothers to lift her head. It was
Did you,
meaningless.
Put a grenade in them as they were like reforming.
I mean,
Pirates of the Caribbean style.
look, there is nothing to suggest that like he could still like punch you.
No,
With
I
the
mean,
st-
still reforming.
I mean, maybe.
Like before
If it
you
was
even
still
had
just
to
his
aim
legs,
or
it
could've
anything,
been
you
easy.
just you put the grenade like in the ankle.
The ankle. What if
So
the
while
ankle
he's
kicks your
reforming, they
balls
just-
while you're doing that?
Like what is he gonna do to stop you? He's just an ankle. You just stick the grenade in there, pull the pin, and run off. He reforms, and then just boom. The fuck's he gonna
Yeah.
do?
See, you do know that would require us to have a grenade.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
What if
Slow?
could have
did
had
this?
grenades.
Hello, Karitsugu
Ciel
Emiya?
could've had grenades.
Great to go, Emiya. We need you.
Knock knock. Kurisugu? Hello? Mister? Hello? Knock knock.
Great to go.
Karitsugu? Hello?
Wake up.
Hello?
It's Holy Grail War time, Creed 2. We gotta kill. We gotta deal with it. First, gotta kill Roa.
It's time for the Holy Grail. Yes, ma'am.
Anyways, it was meaningless. It has always been meaningless. Your voyage through life has been meaningless ever since that day, 800 years ago. Why? Because to me, the death of the flesh is little more than a rite of passage. Even if my body were to be eradicated here, I would be reborn into the world of man once again. Know this well. I am the perfection of immortality itself. I have fathomed death, its darkness. Over and over again, I have overcome that nothingness. Well, that was close. I was right to choose tonight of all nights. If it hadn't been a full moon, reviving from nothing more than my ankles would have been impossible. Well, crap.
It do be like
Yeah.
that sometimes.
It really do, I suppose.
Well, we shouldn't have fought him on a full moon.
And as for you, princess, you will not be able to revive from the wound I'm about to inflict. My claws, you see, have the same ability as that boy over there. Oh. So anything they cut into are just turned into death lines?
What?
Remember he used a butter knife.
True.
The first time I ever did anything, he used like a fucking plastic knife.
Right. Oof. Oof.
I
Yikes.
thought he was saying that his claws have mystic eyes.
Kinda, I guess.
I suppose kind of.
Connected.
My body won't move. Not even my voice will reach her in time. Having fully revived to his original state, Roa slices Arcueid across the stomach. He does it effortlessly, as though simply severing a line. There is no rending of flesh. There is no spilling of blood.
Oh, well. This sucks.
Arcueid crumples to the floor. This is the power that comes from experiencing death. It's ironic, but I didn't work out how to wield this power by myself.
I just realized he doesn't have nipples.
No, you lose them when you become a dead apostle. You see, so Arcueid has them, but like Roa doesn't.
Yeah. She's a true ancestor.
Yeah, exactly.
She gets
Exactly.
nipples.
He's the one who gave me a taste of how to use it. Of course, it was no big deal once I got the hang of it. As someone who has seen death countless times, it isn't all that hard to read the death of things.
Oh.
Speaking in a triumphant voice, Roa kicks Arcueid's body away. He sends her flying in my direction. Arcueid! My body moves. Arcueid's mystic eyes must have lost their hold over me, which would mean that her powers have failed her. Shaking off that line of thought, I take her body into my arms. As soon as I pick her up, a shiver runs down my spine. Arcueid's body is frighteningly cold. The heat she still manages to give off is barely that of a candle's flame. I put on my glasses out of an instinctive fear. Roa is still right in front of me, but I couldn't care less about him. Right now, all I want to do is save Arcueid. Arcueid!
This is the first time you've ever screamed. My goodness.
No, that's not the first time.
No, for this playthrough. For this playthrough.
Nope. Oh, in this episode, yes.
Yeah.
Ow, shit.
Like fully loud in the middle of the night. Good job.
That's 10
It's
for me.
11.
It's almost 11, yeah. He's fine.
I call her
4 in the
name.
morning.
Her closed eyelids slowly flutter open, as though she were waking from a deep sleep.
That wasn't very cool, was it?
Her cheery attitude is beginning to fray around the edges. Even so, Arcueid smiles enchantingly. You... What are you talking about, you idiot? Why? Why did you... Still here?
Yeah.
Okay, thank God. Oh, the lights flickered again, and I was like, no, please.
No, not in this moment.
I know.
You can't.
You
We're
got a
having a
UPS or an
moment.
God.
AVR.
Dog, I hate this.
I promise it'll be fine. We got this.
Did it again. Alright.
I believe in us.
My voice catches in my throat. I want to say something more, something better, but my mind is an absolute mess. I mean, just how am I supposed to remain calm? Body heat I feel as I cradle her in my arms is already desperately faint. If I hadn't put on my glasses, I'm sure I'd be seeing something that would give me even more cause for despair. That is something that I never wish to see. Why? 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 Those useless words are all that I can manage. Growing more and more frustrated with myself, I embrace Arcueid harder than I ever had before. But she doesn't embrace in return. There's no strength left in Arcueid's body. All that she can do is put on a happy-looking smile. You're kidding. Right? This must be a joke. What? Why did you do all of this on your own? We're partners, aren't we? I said I'd cooperate with you. That I'd help you right up until the end.
You're right. You did say something like that. I guess I must have forgotten.
Go on forgetting something like that. Doesn't this make me the lowest of the low? I told you that I would help you. I promised that I would. But in the end, I couldn't do anything.
No, that's not true, Shiki. You helped me plenty of times. That's why you've done enough.
Smiles painfully through blood-flecked lips.
That's why I thought I should do at least this much to show my gratitude. Yeah, I think I may have pushed myself a bit too far. I'm glad I was able to protect you from Ro in the end. She doesn't have any lights in her eyes.
Oh, God. I'm speechless. Arcueid's eyes no longer see anything. She hasn't noticed her own wounds, nor has she realized that Ro is still alive. For her, time had already come to an end the instant she delivered that blow against Roa. That's enough. Please, stop. I can't speak. My throat refuses to form words. But, even so, I need to uphold her dream. You... You saved me. I feel like I'll go insane. I couldn't even lie to her convincingly. The color begins to fade from her eyes. Her body heat is steadily ebbing away. I'm going to lose her. Am I really going to let her slip away like this? Arcueid.
What?
Drink my blood. Your strength will return if you do, won't it? I shout out those words without thinking. Quiet doesn't say anything. Instead, she responds so feebly that it's almost imperceptible. By shaking her head. Why? Why are you still afraid of? Listen to me. Do you remember what you said those couple of days ago? You asked me if I'd still eat birds or fish, even if they had the same level of intelligence as me. I'd still eat them. I'd eat them because if I want to keep living. Isn't that the natural order of things? To take the lives of others in order to survive? These are the words that she herself had said. But despite that, she shakes her head, a look of sorrow in her eyes.
Don't like talking about what is.
I hate them. Words of rejection. Those were the words that I had always said. She told me this herself, that she liked what ifs and hypotheticals, that they made her feel like there was some kind of salvation out there. Is that right? But I like them. Even if they're nothing more than sophistry. Don't they make you feel like there's salvation out there somewhere, is what I wanted to say. There's a lump in my throat. Because of it, I wasn't able to get those words out clearly.
I guess so. But right now, there's something I want more than that.
Something you want? Sure. I'll do anything for you. So tell me.
Yeah. I want you to kiss me.
Is that it? Is your one wish really for something so simple? I press my lips to hers. There's none of the sweetness, none of the tenderness that was present the other day. It was simply me touching her cold lips with my own. A kiss without warmth. Nothing more. After I draw away, she smiles from the bottom of her heart.
I'm glad. I always wanted to do something like that.
I see. You have some strange aspirations, don't you?
Yeah. I feel strangely happy. It was something so small, but it meant so much to me. I've been alive for an incredibly long time, but in all those years, I've never experienced anything close to the joy I feel right now.
That's why.
I feel like I wouldn't mind going out on a high like this.
She murmurs those words. As she finishes speaking, her body goes cold. What? There's no response, even though her body is still here, even though it still lolls softly in my arms, even though my eardrums still clearly remember the sound of her voice. Never again. Will I never be able to relive those moments with her ever again? Ah. Just what have I been doing all this time? I wanted to make her happy. I wanted to teach her all sorts of new things. I wanted to show her all sorts of new places. I wanted to be with her forever. And yet, none of those things can ever be realized now. It's over. There's no escaping the fact that she's gone now. She went and passed away on me all of a sudden, all on her own, and I wasn't even able to properly say anything to her. This is something that will be with me forever, for the rest of my life. This death, this feeling of silence that's almost enough to drive me insane. These are things that I will never be able to forget. I hear the footsteps of the man who had been silently watching this all play out. Are you done, Shiki? I lay the remains of the beautiful avatar on the floor. Yeah, I'm done here. I raise my head and face her enemy.
And then we immediately die and have to go back.
Oh god.
And we have to go all the way back to when we, like, before we fucked her.
Oh god.
To fix all of that.
Oh god.
The answer. Premarital sex. This is what happens. This is why
What?
you don't do it.
This is what happens when you have premarital sex.
Bruh.
You
What if I
die.
want to? This is what happens when you have sex. This is what she was talking about in that video, where it's like, what if
Yes.
I want to have sex before I get married? Then I
Then
guess
I guess you'll just have to be prepared to die.
this is what happens.
This is what happens.
You go, the person you fuck goes and fights a vampire and dies because of it.
Yes.
Sure.
And then you have to die too.
Alright. Second health bar, gamers. Let's go.
We got this.
We face each other in the moonlit corridor. Rowan shows no signs of making the first move. The fact that he just stood by and quietly watched this whole time suggests he's sickeningly overconfident. I must say, I didn't expect you to still be alive. Roa addresses me as if nothing had happened. I take off my glasses and ready my knife. I wonder if humans that can see death also have a knack for avoiding it, irrespective of whether their life force is strong or weak. Well, it could also be that you just don't know when to give up. I'm not the only one desperately clinging to life here. Both he and I are barely half alive, still shambling along after we failed to die properly the first time. Those who have returned from death are the only ones who can truly understand it. A fraction of those people, such as you and I, come to possess special abilities. I had to experience death 16 times before I finally arrived at this vocality. Yet you did so after experiencing it only once. No doubt it boils down to a simple difference in talent. I can't help but wonder just what abilities I might have obtained if I'd reincarnated into your body instead. His cadence is prideful, and his voice grating. Simply listening to him speak is enough to give me a headache. I have two things I'd like to ask you, and one thing I'd like to say. With my thoughts swamped by this headache, I forced the conversation toward its conclusion. Oh, very well. Let's hear it. Confidence in his absolute superiority. Roa views this as nothing more than a sideshow. His response is merely amused. I'm grateful. The more he acts like a human, the more furious with him I become. In fact, I'm already so angry that him seeming human isn't enough to give me pause. It's almost enough to make me laugh. I'll start with the most important question. You. Why did you kill Arcueid? That should be obvious. She was after my life. Isn't it only natural that I kill her in return? Though, I have to say, that broken down excuse of a princess is hardly what I'd been hoping for. My current incarnation, I could have taken her apart even if she'd been in her prime. Alas, I never got the opportunity. There's nothing to be gained by getting my hands on a true ancestor that's no different from any other vampire. I concluded that she was worthless, and disposed of her accordingly. It's not as though I'm pleased that this is the way things played out either, I'll have you know. The enemy's lips twist into a grin. My head hurts. Now, take his life away, here and now. I can't stand the thought of him existing for even a second longer. Now then, where do you propose we go from here? Surely you do not plan on challenging me with that body of yours. There's nothing more appalling than a pointless struggle, murderer. He lays out the obvious truth. Dizziness grips me, and I slump to my knees on the floor. However, even if I no longer have the strength necessary to stand, I still have something I can fix my eyes on. Oh, give it a rest already. You can stare at my death all you want, but it doesn't do you any good if you can't even touch me. That fighting spirit of yours is misplaced. Misplaced? That's right. It's impossible for you to be my opponent. It's not a matter of the difference in ability between us, nor is it related to the question of whether you could or could not kill. If there's one thing holding you back, it's that you lack a truth that makes me your enemy. Out of everything he said, those are the only words worthy of note. There's no sense in remembering anything he's said up until this point, or anything he might say after. But I feel that the words this man just uttered embody his own inner truth. I hold your abilities in high regard. It appears that Shiki's personality is fading away. I suppose now I've settled his grudge against you, I'm becoming less like Shiki, and more like Roa. He approaches me. With each echoing footstep, the silhouette of his body begins to melt. Am I hallucinating? I must be. He isn't actually melting. It's my vision that's starting to blur. Anger directed at him. Hatred directed at him. Anger directed at myself. Hatred directed at myself. These emotions blend together and come to a boil, the pressure threatening to blow the lid I've clamped over them clean off. From the other side of my brain, the cries of cicadas are beckoning to me. Something is bubbling up from the pit within me. In other words, something dreadful is... Don't you think this power is magnificent, Shiki? You should be delighted. We are the only ones capable of possessing these mystic eyes of death perception. It would be a terrible shame to do away with such a rare ability, all the more so because you and I are cut from the same cloth. We can understand each other better than anyone else ever could. What a better quality could one hope for in a partner? You're saying that I should ally myself with you? Not at all. I'm saying that I will make you my partner. Your will doesn't even enter into the equation. I'll purge you of such impurities here and now. Relax. I'm going to suck your blood and pillage your soul. Once I'm finished, I'll turn you into a being that can wield death without hesitation. Doesn't matter how far away from me he is anymore. All that matters is that he's in front of me. All that matters is that he's alive. One more question. The things you see only apply to living beings, don't they? Of course. If it's not alive, then it doesn't have a life. The points that are the source of life only exist on living things. I knew it. I understand now, vampire. I grip my knife. All vital activities, from my extremities all the way to my core, come to a standstill. My brain is filled with nothing but pain. But it's not enough. No, it's nowhere near enough. I must go beyond. I mustn't hesitate. The woman who warned me of the consequences is no longer a part of this world. I don't follow. Well, those don't seem like very fitting last words. Well, whatever. A little chat ends here. I still need to take care of that woman from the church who's skulking around. Rejoice, Shiki. Once I've turned you into my underling, your first opponent will be that woman you've been relying on. Ah, what a stirring provocation. I'll play along, just as you wish. I have no morality or common sense left. I can't recall my own views, my own form. The flesh that composed myself has already rotted away. I've lost what it is that made me, me. I have already forgotten what it means to be human.
What the fuck?
The man comes to a halt. His expression freezes. His body, no longer rooted in the foundation called life, stiffens like a fetus.
What?
Hold on. What's happening? The world hasn't changed one bit. He has every advantage in this situation. He can't make out anything that could possibly threaten him. At least, not with the level of awareness he possesses. Why? Why are my legs trembling? That's why the only thing reflected in his eyes is fear. You and I do not see the same thing, vampire. My body feels like it's on fire. All you're seeing is life. You don't understand death at all. That's why all you could kill was a single enfeebled woman. You have no hope of killing me. My brain glows white hot. If you could really see death, then you wouldn't be able to stay sane. What you understand is nothing more than the part that grants a life. If you could truly see death, you wouldn't even be able to stand. You could liken it to the moon's surface, a cold wasteland where everything is dead. See, the death of things is to be thrown into a world where everything is brittle and uncertain. Where everything is so fragile that the ground is next to insubstantial, and the sky could fall at any moment. You bastard. What are you saying? Roa's voice is shaking. It's to be expected. He can't even begin to understand my monologue. What it all boils down to is this. Our eyes may bear the striking resemblance to one another, but they are fundamentally different. Stop it. Don't look at me with those eyes. Roa's voice is laced with fear. He hit the nail on the head with what he said earlier. Humans are creatures that harbor an instinctive fear of the unknown. You don't know what it's like to feel as though the whole world could die at any second. That is what it truly means to see death. These eyes are not something to boast of. Back then, even simply walking around was terrifying. If I hadn't met that person, I'd have gone crazy a long time ago. You got it all wrong, vampire. Life and death are nothing more than two sides of the same coin. They will never come face to face for all of eternity. I already told you. Stop looking at me with those eyes! I hear his footsteps approaching. He isn't able to pull off that lightning-fast strike of his. He's paying the price for using up too much of his power against Arcueid. If that's the case, then the outcome is already a foregone conclusion. I'll show you. This is what it truly means to kill something. Goated line, let me just say.
Yeah.
Holy crap. That is the how many weapons do you have in stock, King of Heroes? Oh man. I can plunge my knife far down far faster than he can reach me.
And from hell doth come the beasts.
Holy shit. The instant I do, the entire walkway lets out a rumbling groan of resentment and disintegrates. Even Roa's scream is drowned out by the sound of collapsing rubble. The walkway has been killed in the truest sense of the word. Deprived of its meaning, the entire mass immediately crumbles and comes crashing down. Caught in the midst of the collapsing corridor, Roa plummets to the ground, battered by the falling rubble. So wait, can Shiki literally force lines of death onto anything now?
I mean,
or is he just, or did he just happen to like see a point of death on the building in the perfect place to stab his knife?
I think probably is perfect. You know how like on the vampires is that big like heart
Right.
piece that's like the biggest death thingy.
Right.
I'm sure buildings have something like that too.
Probably.
If buildings can have death lines, they can have big heart palpitation lines.
Fair enough.
That you just stab and everything crumbles to the ground. Also, how much do you want to bet that they're going to say, "Oh, the school blew up through a gas leak"?
Yeah, fair enough. Let me show you what it truly means to kill something. Holy crap. An unnatural collapse. The part of the walkway between me and the opposing school building has crumbled away, as though it had been made of an entirely different material to the surrounding building. Pushing through the pain in my head and the numbness of my body, I head for the stairs. Under the moonlight, the courtyard has been transformed into a sea of rubble. From deep within, I can hear something clattering around as it moves. How pathetically he clings to life. His body is on the verge of collapse, but he drags himself up and over the heaps of rubble. It's as though the lower half of Roa's body doesn't even exist. That part of him no longer regenerates, almost like it's been doomed to a fate of non-existence. Even so, the upper half of his body has managed to crawl out from under the rubble. He's still moving around as though the death of his body doesn't even affect him. His life force is truly something to be admired. What the hell was that? He writhes, drenched in a pool of his own blood. Is he going to reconstruct himself? Surely he will. I see. He isn't able to do that again just yet. If he can't resurrect or regenerate, then he ought to be able to make do by crafting a stand-in. What a vampire-like notion. I'm sure that in a few minutes he'll be able to reconstruct himself a prosthetic to temporarily take the place of his lower body. Picking my way across the rubble, I walk over to him. Shiki. He raises his head and glares at me. His eyes are so brimming with hatred that it feels as though it could all come spilling out at any moment. You monster! You monster! You monster! You monster! A hateful cry of resentment. His lower body begins to rapidly grow back. The blood that had soaked the rubble around us is absorbed back into his body, as though I were watching a tape being rewound. Which one of us? Putting my thoughts into words, I relax my grip on my knife. His point is slightly to the right of his heart. Plunge the blade in with a soft thud. It feels like cutting through paper. The sensation of death is not particularly dull, but nor is it all that special. Ugh.
Just pokes it in.
Oop. He gasps lightly. This is a man who has experienced death many times, even if only imperfectly. He understands this feeling better than most people. There's nothing to be scared of. This is a journey you should be intimately familiar with. If there's anything different, it would be only this. This time, you won't come back. Pull out my knife and turn away. His life is already over. It came to an end swifter and easier than you could close your eyes. My consciousness begins to slip away. If my body is at its limit, then my mind is already long past it. I think Arcueid warned me about this. About how I shouldn't look too closely at death. About how if I pushed myself too hard, then the blood vessels in my brain would burn out. Or something like that. None of that matters anymore. If I was prepared to end up like this, if I was prepared to turn this into if I was this prepared to turn into a cripple, I should have killed Roha much sooner. Because if I had, then she would still be alive right now. I've fallen. I'm lying in a heap on the ground. I feel a pain in my ankle. When I look back, I see a monster crawling using only his right arm. He slowly drags himself on top of my fallen body. Blood. He wraps his blood-soaked arm around my neck. What did you? I'm waiting. How did you kill me? He opens his knife-like mouth, readying himself to bite into my throat. I won't die. We are connected. If I move into you, my chain of existence won't be destroyed. His fangs plunge into my throat. And he's gone. Roa's body
Good.
is torn to pieces in an instant.
That was too close.
There in front of me stands Senpai, slightly out of breath, a collection of blades grasped in her hand.
Now then, with that, I was the one who killed this person.
I don't entirely understand what Senpai is trying to do here.
Like I said, I'm the one who killed Roa. That achievement, that responsibility, and everything else all belong to me. I won't let you take credit or blame for any part of this. I'd appreciate it if you went back home empty-handed and ashamed at how you weren't able to do anything.
Senpai places her hands on her hips as she bosses me around. Oh, that's really unfair. Just when I thought I'd never be able to smile again, she makes me crack a bitter smile. Senpai. That's sophistry.
Sophistry, huh? But if it's a kind lie, I think that's okay. Even if it's hypocritical, doesn't it make you feel like there's some kind of salvation out there?
Those words.
My girlfriend said that
Oh
too.
my god.
Starts sobbing.
God. What a roller coaster of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Those words seem familiar. They remind me a lot of what that woman said to me back when I told her that I hated talking about what ifs. I guess you're right. I feel like there might still be a chance at salvation out there yet. Something like that really would be wonderful.
But right now your body takes top priority. Are you okay, Tono-kun? Were you bitten?
Senpai tends to my fallen body. My consciousness fades. My brain signals that it can't take anymore, and that it needs to rest.
Tono-kun! Tono-kun! Hey!
It gradually grows further away. My self-condemnation, my regret. The headache tormenting my brain, the warmth that remains in my hands, all of it. It all slips away like a receding fever. The moon is full tonight. I have a memory of staring up at this same moon long ago. With my eyes still open, my consciousness shuts down completely. Like a monitor that's been switched off, it vanishes without even a trace of a lingering afterimage. How we feeling, guys?
So Arcueid's
Is
definitely
there
dead.
really
damn.
the end? Come on.
I
Is-
think
Is this
when
is this still day
we're
14?
done,
Is
this is day 14.
This is day
Moon
14.
Princess, called Moon.
It's called Moon Princess. That's the name of the video game. Wow.
I hate this. I hate this.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay. She's dead.
Oh yeah, she's hella dead. Final
I'm
day,
sad.
everyone.
The final day. Everyone take your deep breaths. Shiki-sama, it's morning. Please wake up.
You hear a familiar voice.
Shiki-sama, it is imperative that you wake up. If you are late for a second time in as many days, you will have broken the promise you made to Akiha-sama.
It's hard whether to tell whether there's a sense of urgency in her voice or not.
Very well. Then by your leave, I shall present today's schedule. This morning, you will once again be scolded by Akiha-sama, as this is the second day in a row, I believe, that the sentence will be escalated to corporal punishment.
Oh. I'd really rather not hear any more of this profoundly terrifying schedule. Okay, I'm awake. I'll get up, so just hold on a second. I reply with the blanket still pulled over my head before sluggishly emerging from my slumber.
Good morning, Shiki-sama.
Right. Good morning. Still half asleep, I respond to her greeting and put on my glasses. It's just after 7 o'clock in the morning. The only people here are Hisui, who had come to wake me at the usual hour, and myself, who was actually already awake for once.
Breakfast has already been prepared. Once you are finished changing, please come to the dining room.
Bowing once, Hisui leaves the room. After a luxurious stretch, I get out of bed.
I'm really hoping that they pull like a venom on us and that she's still alive. I want it.
Yeah, but I mean, knowing this game's themes, it's probably not happening.
If she's dead, we have to figure out what route it is that she gets to live.
I don't know if there's any.
We'll find one.
What? Okay.
We'll do it.
All right.
We'll be fine.
She better be alive if one of these are out.
Is Arcueid's route like the Saber route where there is no happy ending?
Probably.
Ah! Bitch!
Yep, it's the one you start out with, and the one that's the most tragic.
I hate it here. This sucks.
I change into my school uniform and tidy my desk, which is still cluttered with notes from yesterday's study session. I open a drawer to put away some small odds and ends. And the drawer is my knife. It has sat there unused ever since that night. Huh. That's good.
I found a thing. It's a few different Type Moon protagonists. I think they're all Type Moon because I recognize our boy Shiki and Shiro, and I don't recognize the top two, but I'm assuming they're something Type Moon, and it's okay to ask for help, one of the ones I don't recognize. You're not a burden is the other one I don't recognize. Shiki is murder is okay, and then Shiro is your feelings matter.
No, that's real. That's real.
I love it. That's great.
The curtains sway gently. Hisui must have opened the window. The sky outside is refreshingly clear. Actually, the two others might be Ryoigi Shiki and Aoko. At least they might be.
Maybe.
Is one of them a girl?
No.
No? Wait, what?
At least none of them look like girls. Hang on, I'll send it in the server real quick.
Okay.
Give me like 2 seconds. I'll just put it in speaking with a keyboard.
Oh, I see. Fair enough. Anyways, however, the breeze blowing in feels a little chilly. When I first came to after the events of that night, I was back in my own room. It seems that Senpai carried me all the way back, Fortunately for me, it doesn't look like Akiha or the others even noticed I was gone. 1 month has passed since that night. Shiki's life is the same as it ever was. Every now and then, talking with Akiha will trigger memories of the past I'd rather forget. But at the end of the day, we're still brother and sister. Even after learning the truth, nothing has changed about the relationship we'd already built over the years. Aside from the fact that the walkway is being repaired, nothing has changed at school either. Reportedly, there were no casualties of the Midnight Cave-In, no injured people at the scene, no bloodstains, no nothing. All evidence had simply disappeared without a trace. The only difference is that there's now one less student than there used to be. Ouch.
I think he means that there are 2 less students than there used to be.
What happened to her?
What happened to Yumizuka? Hmm?
Yeah, she's just dead.
Was she not your friend? Do you not care? Did you not share M&M cookies together?
We broke M&M cookies together. We drank wine. I mean, big gulps.
Grape juice. We drank grape big gulps together. And this is how you repay her. This is a travesty.
Then again, I'm the only one who even remembers that she was ever there at all. There haven't been any more of the serial killings that had gripped the city either. They never caught the perpetrator, so the city is still pretty quiet at night. But in another month or so, I expect it'll be back to business as usual. As for me, in the end, I still have a hole in my heart that I'll never be able to fill. Even so, I keep on living as I did before. Not sure how, but I'm able to endure. Every now and then, a memory resurfaces. But even though I feel helpless sometimes, I don't seem to be in any danger of losing myself just yet. I wonder if someday I won't be able to bear it anymore and will go insane, or if I'll just eventually get used to it and simply drift through life as an empty shell. A person's memories don't last forever. Even if I write things down so as to not forget them, the glorious time we spent together, her mannerisms, the sound of her voice, will all fade away bit by bit. These vivid memories will someday be nothing more than vague recollections of the past. But until that time comes, even though I know it's pointless, every day I go and uphold my end of the promise we made. Seems like autumn's almost over already. Dang. It's November in their time right now, huh? So every night he's still going out into the park, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, that's sad.
Oh, baby.
The sky outside is breathtakingly clear. After filling my lungs with the cool air, I close the window. Right?
Is that it? No?
Roll credits.
Is this credits?
No, we are not rolling credits.
Hell if
Not
I know.
until we see argue
Arcueid's
on it
dead.
again.
Roll the credits. We're all sad now.
No. Be quiet, son. She's still alive.
I ain't gonna be quiet, Frank. You be quiet.
No, you. Quiet, damn it.
Whose dog is barking?
Frank's.
Well, it's apparently not credits. School is let out for the day. Nobody else is left in the classroom. Even so, I won't return to the mansion until after the sun has set. A red classroom. The burning glow of the sunset spills in through the windows. The deep red sun is melting away, as though sinking into the deepest recesses of the sky. I've been waiting like this for a long time, and I'll keep waiting. I'll sit here and watch the scenery outside fade away, day after day, until the day comes when I can no longer remember the promise that I made to her. Oh, wait! Right, the other promise. So he wanted to meet again in the school after they
Yeah.
ah
Mm-hmm. After they killed Rowan, they
ah
wanted to meet again in the school.
dang. The one promise that went unfulfilled. After everything is over, when we finally defeat this vampire, before we part ways, can we hang out together like this one last time? I'm pretty sure she tilted her head at me in confusion. I was just wondering if, once we're done with our duties, we could meet again, without there having to be any reason for it. I remember saying something along those lines. She was all I could think about at the time. Not a single colleague in a mutually beneficial partnership. Not as a colleague in a mutually beneficial partnership, but as a close friend that I could make unremarkable memories with. I thought she'd enjoy something like that. Now, B?
Of course! No, that's Arcueid, I'm stupid. Of course! Let's come here again after everything is over, Shiki. Even if there's no reason, I'm sure it'll be super fun.
Her eyes had gone wide in surprise, but after that, she nodded. In this classroom, bathed in the light of the setting sun, she'd made that promise with a genuine smile on her face. I still remember that promise. I still remember that smile. I still remember everything. I can't forget. I won't allow myself to forget. Here, in the classroom that looked like it was on fire, we promised we'd return. I will remember that moment forever. The sun sinks deeper and deeper. Only a few hours remain until this vermilion disappears completely. A quiet interlude before the crimson atmosphere slips away. A world frozen in time, both eternal and transient. Of course, it's also possible that I've already gone mad. After all, I'm waiting for someone who will never arrive. Almost as though I'm desperately clinging to those happy moments.
So I found out there is a good ending.
Hmm?
There is a good ending.
Oh.
There is a potential good ending, yes.
Yes.
I
Googled
looked
it.
it
I'm
up
trying to find a
while you guys
walkthrough.
were
It's not-
reading because I could not stand for this.
Oh, rattle? What is this? I hear the sound
Oh.
of something brushing against the desk.
Oh,
Oh? Is it his? Never mind.
I look
Is it-
over.
Yumizuka?
The previously closed window is now ajar.
Ceil!
My mind takes a second to catch up.
Up, Seven.
It's what's her name? It's Yumizuka.
I will kill you.
She's finally returned from 7-Eleven.
My god. She's standing there, next to the window, steeped in the red light of the setting sun.
What? Oh.
She's alive!
Is she? Are we hallucinating? I feel like we're hallucinating.
She doesn't move from her position by the window. Even though she's right here in front of me. There's a distance between us that can never be crossed.
I'm gonna cry.
My voice won't come out. But somehow, I feel incredibly calm.
I give up. I really was planning on disappearing quietly. I mean, you just kept waiting for me forever, Shiki. Couldn't leave you be, so, well, here I am.
She smiles softly, though embarrassed. Well, of course I did. I told you I wouldn't break any more promises, did I?
we got the good ending.
Yes. I'm so happy.
I guess you did. Thank you for keeping your promise.
The feeling is mutual. I wonder if this is really happening. Or maybe I've already lost my mind and this is nothing more than an
And then
illusion.
he wakes up in bed on day one.
But either way, I have to thank her for granting my wish.
But I'm sorry. This time, I'm the one who can't keep their promise.
What?
Why? I'm surprised at myself. I was able to ask her that question in a truly gentle tone, with neither anger nor entreaty in my voice. I'm surprised, but also happy.
Well, I never told you the reason I was chasing Roa, did I?
He's the last dead ancestor, huh?
The truth is, once, a long time ago, I drank the blood of a human. When I did, that human stole a fraction of my power and went on to become a fearsome dead apostle.
So, in other words, and that man was Roa.
Yeah. Up until that point, I'd never experienced the vampiric urge before. Apparently, even the other true ancestors believed that I was the only one who didn't have it. But it turned out that it simply took a while for my urges to develop. Until that happened. Until I began to thirst for blood. I didn't even know that I was a bloodsucker. That's why I didn't understand that it was something I mustn't do.
I see. She had never been taught anything unnecessary. As a result, she didn't even know that she was the same as the targets she went around killing.
But that doesn't excuse my actions. With just one mistake, I ended up destroying everyone. That's why I vowed never to drink blood again. The true ancestors that have tasted blood, even if only once, cannot stay sane unless they continue to drink it. But she stayed sane for 800 years. The only reason I can't be here right now is because you were able to completely kill Roa. No matter how many times I annihilated him, only his body would disappear. I couldn't kill his soul. But you managed to kill his very existence. When you did, the power that he'd stolen returned to me. I was able to revive somehow.
That's...
But that's all I can do. The vampiric urges inside me have gotten to the point where I can't control them anymore. That's why.
That... doesn't matter.
I can't see you anymore. I'm sorry for breaking our promise.
Doesn't matter anymore. I just want you to stay by my side. There's a way for you to keep that promise.
Shiki?
Suck my blood. Won't doing that solve everything? Time is the only thing that continues to flow. Neither one of us says another word. After a silence that felt like an eternity,
I'm really glad. But I think I'll pass. I don't want your blood.
why? Is my blood not good enough for you? Is there some reason that you can't suck my blood?
Virgin blood tastes better, and you're no longer a virgin, Shiki.
Oh, he's not.
Mm.
Arcueid nods her head.
I can't do it because I love you.
With a smile like a flower in full bloom, she tenderly bids me farewell.
Bitch.
I take a deep breath. With all the power that I can muster, I suppress the feelings that threaten to send me careening over the edge. I wanted to stop her. I wanted to stop her. I wanted to stop her. I wanted to stop her even if it meant killing her. But her smile was just too beautiful. I couldn't bring myself to tarnish it with my selfish thoughts.
Farewell. I'm truly grateful for everything, Shiki.
Throat is trembling so much that I can't speak. Even so, I have to say my goodbyes. Even when I was young, I think I knew that it was the proper way to send someone off that was dear to me. I'm a liar.
What? You kept your promise, didn't you?
Just a pathetic liar. Even though I said that I would make you happy. Even though I swore that I would.
No, you did. I'm about to go back to sleep. When I do, I'll dream of you. The time I spent with you was incredibly fun. That's why I'll keep on dreaming of it. Forever. It may be meaningless, but it will definitely be fun. That's why I'm happy, Shiki. You made me happy. Just as you said you would.
I'm all choked up. For her to...
You really are kind. Aren't you, Shiki? Yeah. I'm glad I ended up coming here. I'm glad I ended up coming here to say my final goodbye. I love everything about you dearly. I love your honesty, your recklessness, and your only fussio towards me, and how you face everything with all your strength. So please, keep on living just the way you are.
For a brief moment, her smile is tinged with sorrow. Waving goodbye, she vanishes from my sight, as if melting into the sunset.
Get back here, Arcueid!
I grit my teeth hard as I fight to control myself. She was smiling right up until the end, so the least I can do is hold back my tears. I'm alone in the classroom.
No, cry like the rest of us, Shiki.
I see. You kept your promise after all. Didn't you? In this classroom, she made sure to keep the promise we'd made to meet here again in this classroom, soaked in the light of the setting sun. I may have lost something, but with this, everything is over. The time we spent together passed all too quickly, but it's time to lower the curtain. If you think about it, every meeting must eventually end with a parting. Ours just happened to come a little sooner than most. It was a satisfying farewell. After all, she was alive, she was smiling, and she told me that she was happy. It's a lie. It's not true. That's not what I wanted at all. That's right. I wanted to spend even more time with her. I wanted to talk with her even more. I wanted to feel more of her warmth. I wanted to see more of that smile. I just wanted to make her happier than she'd ever been before. And yet, she kept on smiling, right up until the end, and her final words were for me to keep on living. You idiot. That was her final wish. In truth, deep down, I'm as hollow as a corpse. I know all too well that I'm a coward who simply bottles up all the fear he feels. Smile, she told me that no matter how difficult the precarious life may be, right now, I just have to convince myself that everything's fine and keep on moving forward until the day comes when I can look back and reminisce about the past. There's no way I can do something like that. I don't have even a shred of the confidence it requires to live like that way. Even so, if it's what it takes to make sure that the dreams she sees are pleasant ones, then I have no choice but to fulfill that wish of hers. When I come to my senses, I see that the sun has long since set. The crimson atmosphere has vanished, and the sky is dyed a brilliant shade of blue. A blue night sky. A white, shining moon. That is all that remains. That, and a beautiful memory. I sigh. I take a long, deep breath, as though praying. She may no longer be here, but I need to get the words I'd forgotten to say off my chest. Goodbye. I had a lot of fun, too. This will be my final memory of her. Eventually, the moon will dim, and the night will come to an end. The moon hangs alone in the night sky, looking like a piece of glass. A memory of a distant moon, so fragile it could shatter at the lightest touch.
But is it blue?
For as long as I can. I continue to gaze up at the moon until the night gives way to the dawn.
Look, I had to make a joke to try and offset the fucking depression. What the fuck?
It's fine. It's fine.
What the fuck? Arcueid! Get your butt back here.
She's gonna sleep forever because she doesn't need to kill anything anymore.
Yeah, Tsukihime is beautiful. Can I just say that?
Man,
Like, Tsukihime is really beautiful, and I mean, Type Moon in general has beautiful
thank you,
writing.
Inoko Nasu.
Thank you, Type Moon, and
Bitch.
everything. Just Christ, Type Moon is.
Oh man.
Okay, this is a credit song all of a sudden.
Yes.
And it's in English.
Yeah.
It is in English. Wild.
I'm distracted by this all of a sudden. Yeah. So Keith, I guess since this is your playthrough, how about you give the final thoughts first, and then I can
Oh boy. There's. I mean, okay. Truth be told, this is my first like actual foray into, basically what would be the origin of Type Moon. What really put them on the map, their visual novels, and as someone who's literally just been in like the Fates circle, of just like watching all the anime and like occasionally reading some of the light novels. This, even just like what the one route, Arcueid's route, is phenomenally done. Type Moon has an incredible way of writing such poetic characters with stories that are so evocative of very despite how like inhuman every single character is, like literally this is a story about like immortal vampires and everything and church assassins. They're all made in service towards very, very oddly human and oddly, how should I say this?
very real dilemmas that people think about. The ideas
Right.
of if you could tell me if this is kind of what you're trying to say,
Mhm.
this is more so the way I can say it. To me, Type Moon visualizes a lot of the idea of life and death,
Right.
which is heavy in the themes of especially Tsukihime that we saw,
Yeah.
in comparison to taking Shiki and Arcueid, an immortal vampire and just a guy who has magic, but still just a guy.
Right.
It, God, words elude me. But is that kind of what you're trying to say? Get at?
Yeah. A lot of Type Moon's themes are all about very, very human things in which and they're all evocative of very, very oddly uplifting messages, despite the tragedy of all of this happening, despite how dark everything can seem. Literally, Shiki is literally a person who is trapped by who is constantly tortured by the fragility of life itself around him, and yet he's able to go on living an easygoing life because that's the philosophy that he's always had.
Yeah. When you can take writing like this that has characters who go through, you take writing with characters that go through tragedy and you make it to where it's about this message of how am I trying to word this? Tragedy breeding an ideal, almost.
Mm-hmm.
We see it with no, we haven't played it yet, but relating Shiki to Shiro because
Right.
it's the best thing I got.
Yeah.
they both have very similar but very different ideals and outlooks on life, despite both having near-death experiences. And I
Right.
feel like where Type Moon shines,
For sure.
there's the memes you can make about Type Moon and their more different other elements.
Yeah.
But when you really take Type Moon, if they just focused on things like what they did here, the writing is so good and so the dramatic moments are so poignant because they actually have something to say.
For sure. Also, first off, thank you to Tsukihime for this incredible translation, by the way.
Yes. Thank you very, very
Sure.
much for making this so we can play
we can
it.
play it,
And
yes.
then, you know.
Arcueid Burnson route ending.
Wow.
So is there not a good end for Arcueid? Well, I guess this.
There might only be one ending. I kept looking it up, and apparently it might be just in the original that there's a true end and then a good end.
Yeah.
And then what the fuck was that?
No, I know. I'm not the only one who saw that. Keith,
What?
is your totally legit Switch hardware glitching up?
A little bit. No, it's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
Like I
Right.
like
But
I
yeah,
said, it's the dog.
I guess the last
It's
thing
the
I want to
dog.
say, we also need to get B and Frank's thoughts because I missed a lot of this.
Hi.
I was
Yeah.
busy with life and all this shit, so of course missed a lot of shit. I still feel I got the general gist of the emotion that this game wants to invoke, which is, again, like I said a minute ago, this theme of life in this case, especially, and what it means to be alive, almost.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
the fact that, Arcueid may be a vampire doesn't mean she's not alive.
Right. The one thing that one particular part that stuck out to me is Arcueid talks about how Arcueid asks Shiki how humans can still like go around knowing that their lives are so brief, especially in comparison to vampires who can live for hundreds, if not like thousands of years. Even while knowing that they only have like a measly few decades at most. And Shiki's response is always that life is meaningless, and you can spend all but because of that, you can do what you want with life. You can do whatever you want, and even if those things that you do in life are pointless, if you're able to look back on them without regret and you're able to look back on the memories and say that you enjoyed them, then those pointless acts were not necessarily as pointless as you can think of them as. And another thing that and I mean, it isn't to say that you can't have like people who try to search for meaning in life. That is also an entirely valid point of reasoning. And I mean, like, there's a whole sector of people who are literally from a church who believe in God, and those people are kind of dickish, but are also portrayed as heroes. So that's not an entirely invalid way of living life either. And it also contrasts to vampires who literally have hundreds and hundreds of years, but Arcueid always says they end up just being bored out of their minds because they don't die, and so don't have a point where they can stand at the end and look on their life and say, yeah, I did something.
Which follows the themes of immortality, which I always think if you're going to tell a story with people who are like immortal, you do have to acknowledge that fact of that would be a thing in real life. If someone was actually immortal in the real world, that would not be a pleasant feeling.
Right.
The scene that stuck out to me a lot is the one at when they're eating, and I think it's just because it was and Arcueid points out, if a being was, if these animals were as intelligent as you, would you still consider eating them?
Right.
I don't know. It's just that scene again. The small, they're Arcueid's points on life contrasted with Shiki's points on life. Anytime that those points were brought up, even something as simple as the exchange they had with the I don't like what ifs when they first had it, and then even when
Right.
they reversed it in when Arcueid was dying.
Right.
It because you get those two different outlooks of it just all of it feels so God, I cannot put it into words. We should probably get B's thoughts because
For sure.
you keep talking.
Fair enough.
You keep going
B,
back.
what
I don't like it here. That's my thought.
Damn.
Listen. Okay. Here's the thing. Right? Beautiful story.
If there was a teach me Ceil sensei.
Wait, no,
What?
I'm
no.
so no. Okay,
We're
never
gonna-
mind. We're gonna get my thoughts
We're
after
gonna
this.
do this.
No, we just pause it.
This is
Are
my
you sure? Okay.
entire outlook on this game.
No way. No goddamn
This could
way.
change my entire. This could
No
change
way.
My entire
No way. Oh, it's
Oh.
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 Why the fuck did you pick Arcueid? That's gonna be the entire teacher. Just start cursing you out for choosing Arcueid.
The Moon Princess takes her leave, and the boy awakens from his dream. And so, all is right with the world. Following this ending, the rescue corner, Teach Me Ceil Sensei, will also be on hold today.
What? Excuse me? Okay.
Well done on finally clearing Arcueid's route in Tsukihime. Thank you for playing the game all the way through to this point. Please use this opportunity to rest your eyes and give your body a break.
Okay, fine, Ceil.
Alright,
Fine, Ceil.
alright.
We'll
I'll
don't worry, Ceil. We'll come romance you later.
God, fine, I guess.
And then, if you're interested, please continue to enjoy the rest of Tsukihime.
Pick me this time, bitch.
Tono-kun will now be able to make choices that he could not make previously.
Oh, God. Oh, great.
Oh.
Oh.
I did read that, yeah.
What does
You
that
re-
mean?
It opens up different choices. Like, in the
Are there different
beginning,
routes?
when, I forget what there's a question at the beginning of the game where it's like, what should I think about? And one of the options that is now there is like, think about your little sister. We're questioning why she brought you back to the house and things like that.
Like the choices that were like blurred out, and like the choices that were like far away in the whole selection.
Ah,
Um,
yes.
selection
No, this is not an illusion. I actually cut this woman into 17 pieces.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Thank
mhm.
you, Shiki.
that he could not previously make. The game will now loop back on itself, although you can make use of the flowchart. I highly recommend that you start again from day one and explore any options you had not taken before.
Like the first option.
What are the true ancestors? What exactly was Roa's goal? The answers to the mysteries that remain, and an entirely different kind of vampire slaying. Let's meet again in the next route of the near side of the moon, where all these things will now be on display.
Thanks for advertising yourself, Ceil.
Ceil just
Thanks,
says,
Ceil.
Shiki, since you didn't romance me, I'll just make sure you know that you can. I mean, that's the only reason you didn't pick me, right? It's not like you thought Arcueid was better.
Alright,
Anyways,
so
B?
basically, my thoughts, it made me cry, which means it's a good game. It's funny enough, this game and, there's the other game that makes me cry every time I watch it or play it is To the Moon. So apparently moon-based games make me
Moon-based
cry.
It
games
makes me
make me
cry
cry.
too, so don't feel bad. That's a sad ass game.
But I would say I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun, hanging out with everyone, doing the funny voices, making up memes.
7-Eleven.
I think this was, I feel like this was a very genuinely fun experience to go through with you guys.
For sure. And you made it better.
And I look forward to our next visual
Aw.
novel.
Yeah, which will be Ceil's route, which we'll do in like
Well,
March.
no, the next
or
visual novel we're
whenever it
doing
comes
is
out.
Fate.
Oh,
Well,
fair enough.
Yeah, that's you guys. Me and Keith are gonna do the CL route when it comes out.
Oh, damn, you're not joining us for that? SMH.
Oh no, I'll join you. Oh no, I thought you guys meant you were gonna
No,
stream
I,
it.
Oh.
I can't stream it.
Oh, we can't.
Well, I don't know. Okay, well, you know what? I'll still join
yeah,
you. I'll
because
join
it
it. Yeah.
was.
Because that actually has like,
That means I can
you know.
do moans into my microphone. Oh, how
No,
exciting!
we
No,
discussed this
no,
last
no,
night.
no, no, no,
When we
no,
get to
no,
that,
no.
I'm clicking the. I'm scrolling.